Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Jyoti.
Shruti, what's up, Jyoti?
Also, I can't say my full name, proper name today. Nothing's up. क्या आपका दम घुट रहा है? नहीं, you're in
नहीं
Bombay
नहीं
ना? I think दिल्ली में
यस
दम घुट रहा होगा.
नहीं दिल्ली में तो ठंड होगी तो दम क्यों घुटेगा गर्मी
Because
अच्छा
no, this is the season of the smog. It's not
oh like
winter.
that हाँ currently Bombay weather is also very bad huh? Like morning में ऐसा लगता है कि oh my god so much धुंध and loveliness and it's really hot so obviously it's smog right जो ऊपर
Ugh.
like अटक रही है and suddenly like the visual it's very confusing because the
Hmm.
visual is very like ठंड लगनी चाहिए लेकिन
Yeah.
actually गर्मी लग रही है so one is like क्या हो क्या रहा है मेरे साथ
So
हाँ
one thing I don't miss about Delhi. I miss Delhi, but I don't
हाँ
miss the winter and the
दिल्ली की
smog.
सर्दी
No, just that not being able to breathe feeling. I don't miss it. But anyway, coming to breathing, Dum Ghutte is the next track from Nayaab. We're getting to that through it. Chalo,
Yeah,
let's listen to it.
ठीक है ready.
There's nothing in the blurb, so of course it says, हाँ, chalo, okay.
जब आर्टवर्क ऐसा है जिसमें 100 बातें कह देते
I
हैं तो ब्लर्ब
know,
की क्या जरूरत है या
exactly. Full
चलो
focus.
लेट्स
Let's watch. 1, 2, 3, play.
डू वी नीड टू स्टार्ट अगेन
Yeah.
या
Okay. 1, 2, 3, play.
Says on the beat, boy.
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
दम घुटे रोज
रोज घुटे दम
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
दम घुटे रोज
रोज घुटे दम
नहीं दिल इतना ठोस है भेड़े ट्रस्ट इश्यूज तो है भी मेरे तीन ही दोस्त इन्हें नहीं पता कितना मुश्किल है आज जीना रोज जितना लिखूं उतना कम है जैसे टेंथ के बोर्ड्स और ये दर्द बढ़ता जा रहा है जैसे सेस की तोंद और दृष्टिकोण ये जितनी बार भी बोलूं सही मैं हूँ सही का विलो मैं महीने से पढ़ा गधों के जैसा यहाँ पर्दे लगा के ठस्सा दूं लौंडों को बोला मत आओ मुझे बोलना जब चाहिए बजाओ घुटे सगे भी कुछ ना कर पाए बाकी खुश ना रख पाए बाकी तो रोज का मरना है तभी तो मौत का डरना है कभी तो घुटनों कम यहाँ पे तो रोज का धंधा है सुबह से रात तक लड़ना किसी से बात ना करना करी तो हर छोटी बात आगे लगे तो बेहतर है चुपी रहना साला मैं करूँ क्या यहाँ बना दिए 3 से ज्यादा प्रोजेक्ट्स और एक नमूना चाहे कितने पूरे कर लूँ सपने नहीं पहुंचा कभी मैं तक पे ये डर है मेरे अलावा कोई नहीं समझेगा कि कितना घुटे दम
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
दम घुटे रोज
रोज घुटे दम
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
दम घुटे रोज
रोज घुटे दम
है लगता जैसे प्यासे को पानी पिला के कुएं में डुबा दिया हो मुझको हो सके बचा लो नहीं बची अभी जगी जगह कहीं तभी सही मैं हूँ नहीं मैं जॉली अब सदा के लिए हूँ ऑन कोड ऊपर से म्यूजिक बिजनेस इतनी कुत्ती चीज है इस पे पट्टा तो लगा दे यार नहीं करने देती काम है यार ऊंची हो रही है 4 दीवारें जैसे 4 मीनार सर पकड़ के बैठा हूँ गाने जा रहे लाख बार पर कभी भी खुद से खुद को खोज नहीं पाया तो खाक इंसान हूँ अभी भी तकिए के कवर पे है सुखाते आंसू सीने में कब से रहे हैं मर जनाब कल खराब चरस शराब अलग मिजाज गजब कला रखे सदा हमें अमर और जिंदाबाद अंदर से है जिंदा लाश पर अंतर आता जब निरंतर श्रम लाता लाभ हम पहले सोचते थे कि ऊपर महसूस कैसा होगा अब है बादलों पे लेकिन कुछ महसूस नहीं होता खाली रोज रोज घुटे दम
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
दम घुटे रोज
रोज घुटे दम
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
Rose, rose, घुटे दम
दम घुटे रोज
दम घुटे रोज
रोज घुटे दम
मतलब गाना सुनते रहे मेरा भी दम घुट रहा था like you know the way those lyrics yeah where to those lyrics So I wasn't expecting this kind of a track. Like, you know,
Mm.
maybe because I was in a happy zone, the way their songs, the previous ones have been, and the way. And initially it took me a while to get into it. Like I was already enjoying the feel of it, but it was it's like a very deeply held secret which is being spoken, and like every emotion that one goes through when you're sitting on top, and the way that claustrophobia makes you feel, and the way it's been described, the lyrics were the star for me. While the production was top notch,
Oh.
the you know the production, the different ways, the way it had been produced, it was fantastic. Like that different voice being used, the pitch shift, all elements were really nice, but the lyrics were like the thing that made it for me for this in this song. वो सुनते हुए, like, you know, it puts you in that spiral of thinking कि आप जो भी हो, stop thinking like that. Right now the artist is sharing the way they feel, and you kind of get into it, that they're grateful for it also. वो सोचते थे कि वहां पहुंच के कैसा लगेगा, and now that they're there, how they're feeling. And it's also the way it was described ना कि दीवारें ऊंची हो रही हैं. Like now that I'm sitting here, दीवारें ऊंची होती जा रही हैं, चारों दीवारें around me. The description of it, the way that was done, one could like I could visually see it happening, although there's no video, but I could visually see that happen. And the impact of that was that I started breathing really deep. I was like, you know, I need to breathe. Wow.
Yeah, it makes you feel that.
But having said that, it's got that very beautiful dark element to it. I'm going to listen to this many times. Like I can feel that, you know, it's like, you don't want to feel like that, but yet like the song is such, and it's like, it's that reh ke baar baar aapka sunne ka man bhi kar raha hai, but nahi bhi kar raha. It's like that one, you know, that khichataani that's going on. So I want to, I feel like the first verse I kind of missed, like, because I was so like, you know, that awaaz and everything. And I was like, itna kuch ho raha tha कि मैं सुन रही थी, but I couldn't absorb it. It's and I could, so logically I was like, wow, that's really nice, wow. But एक वो feel, महसूस करने वाली जो बात होती है, I couldn't feel it. And then later when that line came ना कि सब कुछ है मेरे आसपास, I can see, but मुझे महसूस नहीं हो रहा. And I was like, मुझे भी इस गाने के साथ कुछ ऐसा ही लग रहा है अभी. Lekin like it was so. I'm suddenly feeling very depressed now. But continue. That's the impact of this song.
I mean, that's probably the intended impact. It was a dark song in its sound, in its vibe, because as soon as the vocal started in that different pitch, it was a very bhari, like almost like demonic sort of voice that had, you know, the treatment. So I was like, they are setting it very well. Like not many of the songs start with the hook playing, and that's a interesting structure. So पहले से ही दम घुटे दम रोज वो repeat हो रहा था, 2 बार आया. So you're like kind of already starting to feel it. And once Calm started, ek to the flow he took there, and then the switch in the flow that happened. So for me, the lyrics were just like hitting hard with every line. And then the flow that was happening in the first part of that verse, and then when he switched it up, it was just like, it just got more and more intense. You know, it was like he sped it up, but in, again, like not in a chopper way, not in a way that you have like it's hard to follow or something, but just like it's kind of like itna dum ghut raha hai that I want to get it out, and like I'm speeding up because of that. So that feeling intensified, and there was a bit just before I think his flow switched where the keys were doing like almost a rainfall kind of a thing. Then I was like, oh, I don't know if I like my face expression changed there, but I loved that bit. And I was like, says man, what did you just do there? It just all built on top of everything that one is feeling through that verse. The lyrics, first of all, he's like, "Ye dard badh raha hai," jaise says ki tone. That was very mean. Yeah. Says, how do you put up with this? But it is very cute. So, I mean, you can only say that to people you're closest
To very
to, and
close
like
friend,
very
yes.
like it's cute humor.
Yeah.
But again, like to throw in that little light-hearted line there in the middle of all this deepness, depth. So that was nice, and I just felt like, you know, God, there was a lot that the intention. It started from just like life में दम घुटे, because it's like I'm
10th के boards.
हाँ, लिखना कम लग रहा है, जैसे 10th के boards, and like whatever I do, it's not enough, and it's just like a verse that most people will relate with, who are just unhappy and like frustrated, or they feel like nothing's moving forward, nothing's going upwards. So in that sense, very relatable. People have those moments all the time. Encore came in, and I think he touched upon the whole music business bit,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
it's a whatever cheese, and and I was smiling there because I was like, yes, I know
Patta leke aao.
I'm
I
in the
like
middle
that
of
one.
many assignments.
Yeah.
But it is they're just kind of like, for them, their world is the music business, what they are living
Yeah.
day in and day out. Their work involves making music and then selling it and marketing it and getting it heard by people and being seen. So they're speaking from that perspective.
Yeah.
But they've made the song so relatable to just anyone, and I think that's the
थोड़ा ज्यादा ही relatable हो गया हाँ मेरे गले में यहाँ पे मुझे अभी भी feel हो रहा है मुझे
Yeah.
यहाँ पे like there is like this something pressing down like an emotional block that has happened after listening to the song
Yeah.
which wasn't there earlier
Yeah.
and at this point I'm almost feeling like I'm feeling choked basically.
But that's
Like,
the
that's
thing
what's happening.
that's the thing with like music like this, because, and I feel like there's a very strong intention behind repeating the hook line and the hook part
Yeah.
over and over. They did it in the middle, they did it at the end, and उसमें कुछ था नहीं, सिर्फ एक line है जो different variations में repeat हो रही है, और उसका impact वो हो रहा है, what you're feeling, right? And
Yeah,
even like to a
because he
certain
kept
degree when I'm feeling
even in
it.
even in that repetition they kept, like you said, na intensify hota raha.
Yeah.
So when that thing keeps
And the pitch.
intensifying, it's almost like you're it's going tighter,
Yeah.
tighter, and you're like,
Yeah, but you know, like, it's interesting that you're feeling that, but for me, that bit was like, I was vibing the most to it, and as much as I was like, the impact of this is very hard as a
Yeah.
listener, it kind of boom boom, you know, it kind of just hits your heart, sort
Yeah.
of. It's still making me vibe. So at the end, when it was repeating, the thought in my head was, man, I want to listen to this again, even though it's making me feel so like down or
Exactly.
thing. I want to listen to it again, because this track is to me what say, I can't think of a very good example, but like a very hard hitting, almost depressing track, like I'll Be Missing You, for example. I can't think of a better example right now, but it's a very sad song about someone who's just lost a friend. But you can listen to it over and over again, and the fact that it was one of the most played tracks is proof that sometimes that also works. You know, people do want to be in that zone, and they do want to feel their the emotion that they're going through on a daily basis. They want to relive it and feel it over and over. And the vibiness of the hook and the production overall made me think that thought at the end, that I can listen to this song again and again. It's not a, you know, because also the lines for me, the lyrics are the winners, of course. They are just so hard hitting. And both of them, man, the way they match each other's thought zone. And I've seen, like, I was watching one of their interviews, I think like they were just like saying ki when I can't finish, like I just have a thought ki is pe gana likhna hai, and then I just give it to this one and say, okay, now you finish it. And the other one just jumps in and takes over. It's so, you know, you can't do that with someone who isn't in your zone.
And who doesn't understand you, who doesn't know, you know, what goes through your head, what your thought, or, you know, that's beautiful.
The wavelengths are, it's like, is a match made in heaven. You know, it's a musical marriage. It's very rare to find. So it must be, and I guess they know it. So I don't know if you want to go over the lyrics. Will they
I want to go over the
depress
artwork
us?
though. I want to go over the artwork.
Dude, the person sitting and just like clutching their knees.
Even that upar, like every time they took it upar, and wahan pe jo black clouds hain, but they're parting through that, you know, waterfall. Those black clouds to me almost were looking like a flying bird, like an eagle spread wings type, or a kite, you know, like widespread wings. And that's usually symbolic of freedom, right? So something that you're seeking, but then that figurine, which is like under the tree and so tiny. So it's almost like one wants to be free. One thinks that, you know, as I kept listening to the song and seeing the artwork, it kept making like different meanings kept coming out of it. There were so many parallel meanings running through it that even with this simple artwork, well, it's not simple really, but like a singular artwork, one was still so, you know,
your mind wanders according to what you're listening to.
And uske andar jo suggestions aa rahi thi with the artwork, they were perfect because those suggestions were taking the words and putting you on different journeys through the words with every line. So usme wo jo open wings and being unable to reach, but yet they're very dark, looming clouds. So it's almost like even when you're flying, but you're in a dark space. So you're on top of the game, but you're in a dark space. And yet, like, you know, it's just so many, like I kept looking at it going, wow, okay, it's the same artwork we've been seeing throughout, itne sare ganon mein, but somehow ek element badalne se kaise wo puri baat badal jati hai, fantastic. Like, wow.
But I feel it's also so because I saw the interview where they talked about the artwork, and it's like it's a continuation of Bayam, where from the back where that sun you can see is where they came in the Bayam artwork, and then they climbed on top and they sat there. So they're
On the
sitting
tree,
on top of this cloud,
Huh.
and they're actually looking down on the tree, and this
Wow.
this cloud is the shape that Bayam wala artwork was in. So when they, I think
That's
when you so that's the BTS, so that's the backstage.
Yeah,
And this
but
is front stage. So
Yeah.
now, so from the front stage, the wings and the whole, like, it's almost like a man standing with the angel wings now, because the sun
Correct.
also can look like a head, and then
Correct.
whatever's inside the guy is flowing out and onto the tree. So there's just so many ways to look at it.
Wow. I love that.
My whole thing was looking at the figure down there with the sitting in that, that
I thought he was standing. You thought he was sitting.
no, he's sitting with clutching his knees. He's sitting like this.
Acha, huh, but like
ऐसे, उसका
for
shadow hai.
For some
की वजह
reason,
से I think you're seeing.
I told you last time also, I've recently seen Wednesday Addams. So like Wednesday so I could only see Morticia Addams because uska base is like, like her dress base is like that rooty thing, no? So I get it. I've already wound back. But
Go
throughout the
second
night,
20th second पे वो zoomed in है उधर. You can see.
even 132 पे वही है. So I've been seeing that. But that's what I'm saying, that the more I'm looking at it, I can only see it as you're saying 20 पे zoomed in. I'll go there and check it out. Correct. वो base पे है तो. Yeah, correct.
It's that crouching.
Sitting wala, that fula.
Sort of defeatist body pose, right? It's a very like.
Yeah.
So artwork maybe Dum Ghutte raha hai dekhne time, but again, like you said, also feeling little freedom on the top of the game. There's so much. There's so much in this album, visually, sonically, lyrically, everything. Man, like I'm just as we go.
I'm gonna go cry for 2 minutes now.
But as we progress through the album, I just want to say, like, abhi tak khatam nahi hui hai, so I know we're very slow with it, but it's been for me so far best project this year. I'm just saying. I'm just getting those feelings. I will obviously reserve my final comment on the last song, but damn, man, this is really taking things up several notches for the scene. Oh, okay, chalo. We will now get to whatever we need to get to. That's next on the track list. And hope you enjoyed this. We will see you in the next one. Take very good care of yourselves. Miss Molas at SHRUTI on Instagram. DM me for recommendations. Support the channel. Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Rose, rose, kute dum.
Dum Ghutte rose.
Rose, kute dum.
Dum Ghutte rose.
Rose, rose, kute dum.
Dum Ghutte rose.
Dum, kute rose.
Rose Ghutte dum.